You know, I know how much that we're spending is waste. How a lot of it's just wasteful, and even liberals should go. Why are we spending money on that? Rand Paul recently did an interview with Fox News, and he went over. He found $1 trillion worth of stuff that could be cut right away because of how stupid it is. Seriously, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, liberal, conservative, middle of the road, none of this should make sense to you. That's why I decided to show y'all. If you haven't seen the video, I thought y'all might want to see the video. It's a little bit long, about 4 or 5 minutes, but I seriously think that y'all need to pay attention to what your money is going towards when you pay taxes. Now, for the folks that don't pay taxes, okay, fine. But the folks that pay taxes in this country, this is what your money is going for, and you need to just hear this craziness. Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking about the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Joe Biden's wild spending spree exposed in Senator Rand Paul's 10th annual Festivus report, showing the more than $1 trillion in government waste. Making the list this year, of course, you gotta have your Sesame Street show in Iraq, a multi-million-dollar pickleball complex in Las Vegas, a drag cabaret show on ice, and of course, border security for ... Paraguay. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul joins us now. Senator, this is an annual list you do. You've got a lot of problems with government people, to quote Seinfeld further. How tough is it to target and find the entries on this list?
You know, I got a lot of problems with big spenders in both parties. And here's the thing, everywhere you look, you find more of this stuff. $1 trillion, that means we found a lot of waste. But it's everywhere. It's in all the big departments, in the Department of State. It's in NIH. It's in the National Science Foundation. And people wonder, why does it exist every year? We have this Department of Doge. Are they going to be able to get rid of it? Well, the only way to get rid of it is to spend less money. So if you give the National Science Foundation $4 billion one year, and then you increase it to $8 billion, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that you're going to get more waste, not less. This has been going on since the 70s, but it has exploded. But you have to be willing to cut spending for the overall department. NIH will have more waste if you give them more money. They spent $3 million studying what kids do when they look at ads for food on Facebook. So they had a whole bunch of kids look at ads for food on Facebook, and that was $3 million worth. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars to drill holes into cats' head, spin them around rapidly, and study motion sickness. Sounds more like animal cruelty than it actually sounds like an experiment, but the list goes on and on.
And that's not to mention, I mean, you have stolen COVID relief funds, $8 million. One guy from Florida did it to buy an island. You mentioned the cat. The list does go on and on. But you also alluded to this, Senator. Do you think your tradition ends this year? In other words, is this the year that Doge eliminates the need for you to go through and make this list, because they've done it over the course of the intervening 365 days?
Ultimately, it takes Congress. Congress has to get rid of the spending. Doge can point out the spending problems and the waste the same way I've been pointing it out. But the reason it's not eliminated is they don't have the votes to get rid of the spending. So I am very hopeful that Doge will draw attention to this the same way I've been drawing attention to it. But I'll give you an example. About a year ago, there was a chip spill, a bill to subsidize microchips, semiconductors in the United States. Well, in that bill, they doubled the size of the National Science Foundation. Now, the National Science Foundation is the one that's famous for doing a study on whether tequila or gin makes people more aggressive. So they fed fish, half of them tequila and the other half of the fish gin, and they decided which made the fish more aggressive. That's the National Science Foundation. Most of the terrible, wasteful projects, the crazy stuff and experiments that are going on is National Science Foundation. In the CHIPS bill, all the Democrats and half the Republicans voted to double the size of the National Science Foundation. So why is there more waste? Because the idiots in Congress keep giving them more money.
Well, it will be interesting to see again what happens when Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. Very different from what we've experienced the last 96 hours in Congress. Will this waste go away? Will you be needed on Christmas Eve next year? We will see. Senator Rand Paul, enjoy the day and the week with your family, and we thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below that's got my social media. And it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. Now, I ain't going to go back over this list because it would just be idiotic. But you tell me down below. Do you really want your money going to all this mess? Seriously, this is some stupidity right here. We've got a budget that is so out of control because we are spending on everything and anything that they can't even explain why we're doing it. Why the fish? Okay, yeah, I was going to not say the fish. Why are you getting fish drunk? Don't tell me that there's an actual valid scientific reasoning for this. This is a whole bunch of stupidity. Our budget can be cut. Doge, that's why Trump got Doge started. Everybody's like, well, it's Elon Musk. He was talking about this before him and Elon Musk were hanging out. Don't you remember? Back when Elon was still fairly liberal, this is what he was talking about. This is what Trump was talking about. So Doge, don't think this is purely Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. I hope I got that name right. But seriously, folks, this is what's going on in our government. You wonder why conservatives, if you're not conservative and you're listening to me, this is why conservatives get fed up with this garbage. Seriously, it is. But hey, thought y'all might want to hear this. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day, and help us fight this garbage. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic, because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.